It certainly was a case of opposites attracting. Livy and I were about as different as could be. She was from the east and I was from the west, as Missouri or any place west of the Mississippi was considered back then. Or viewed from another perspective, she was a northerner, a Yankee, and I was a southerner. She was born into a wealthy abolitionist family who had helped fugitive slaves escape by means of the Underground Railroad. I was born into straitened circumstances, and my father had once dealt very severely with some abolitionists who had been caught near Hannibal trying to smuggle escaped slaves across the Mississippi River into the free state of Illinois. Livy was refined and cultured. I was rough and ragged around the edges. When Miss Langdon finally agreed to accept me, after hundreds of love letters on my part, which I wrote to her every chance I got, I went to her father and applied for the position of son-in-law. Mr. Langdon requested of me references. I furnished him with half a dozen prominent men that had known me in San Francisco. In their responses, all these men were frank to a fault. They not only spoke in disapproval of me, but they were, I thought, quite unnecessarily and exaggeratedly enthusiastic about it. Besides the prediction of some that I would fill a pauper's grave or a drunkard's grave was the suggestion that I was born to be hung, and the declaration by one of these gentlemen that he would rather bury a daughter of his than have her marry such a fellow as me. Those men whom I had considered my friends said with one accord that I got drunk oftener than was necessary, and that I was wild and godless, idle, lecherous, and a discontented and unsettled rover, and they could not recommend any girl of high character and social position to marry me. When Mr. Langdon received these responses and informed me of their contents, I could do nothing but stand there mute, for once in my life, and despondent, devastated even. He finally set those letters aside, looked at me, and said, "What kind of people are these? Haven't you a friend in the world?" "I'll be your friend myself. Take the girl. I know you better than they do." Not only that, but when Livy was summoned for her opinion on the matter, she said that she had thought it all over very deliberately and did not believe these aspersions cast on my character, and would not believe them even had an archangel spoken them. Mrs. Clemens doesn't really like me to speak about her or the children in public, so I'll let it go at that. I'll tell you about another lady, though, that I wrote to. In fact, I wrote her an open letter.